Hello, and welcome to the English Academy. We are very happy that you are here today. Every day, we learn English through real and inspiring stories. These stories help you improve your vocabulary, listening, speaking, and confidence. Today's story is different. You probably see the name Amul almost every day. On milk packets. On butter. On cheese. On ice cream. And on the famous little Amul girl. But have you ever asked yourself one simple question? Who built Amul? Was it one businessman? Was it one rich family? Or was it someone whose name most people have forgotten? The answer may surprise you. Because this is not just the story of a company. It is the story of courage. The story of honesty. The story of millions of farmers. And the story of one young man who never planned to change India. But changed it forever. So, sit back. Relax. And let's begin. The year was 1946. India was still under British rule. Life was difficult for most people. In a small town called Anand, in Gujarat, thousands of families depended on cows and buffaloes. Every morning before sunrise, farmers woke up. They cleaned their animals. They milked them carefully. Then they carried heavy cans of fresh milk to the local collection points. They worked every single day. There were no weekends. No holidays. No vacations. Rain or sunshine. Winter or summer. The cows still needed care. The milk still had to be sold. But there was one big problem. The farmers worked hard. Yet they remained poor. Why? Because they had no power. A private company controlled almost all the milk business in the area. The company decided the price. The company decided how much milk to buy. The company made the profit. The farmers had no choice. If they refused, the milk would spoil within hours. Fresh milk cannot wait. So every day, the farmers accepted unfair prices. Sometimes they earned less than the cost of feeding their animals. Many families borrowed money just to survive. Parents skipped meals so their children could eat. Children left school to help at home. Dreams became smaller every year. People believed this was their fate. This is our life. This will never change. But history often changes when ordinary people refuse to accept injustice. One day, some farmers gathered under a large tree. Their faces looked tired. Their clothes were simple. Their hands were rough from years of hard work. Nobody among them was rich. Nobody had great power. But all of them shared the same pain. One farmer stood up. He asked a simple question. Why do we work the hardest, but earn the least? Nobody answered. Because everyone knew the truth. Another farmer said quietly. If we stay divided, we will always stay poor. Those words changed everything. The farmers realized something important. One person is weak. 1,000 people together are strong. Slowly, an idea was born. What if the farmers owned the business themselves? What if nobody could cheat them anymore? What if every family received a fair price for every drop of milk? It sounded impossible. Most people laughed. Some even called it a foolish dream. Poor farmers cannot build a company. They don't have money. They don't have education. They don't have influence. But every great success begins as an impossible dream. The farmers needed someone who could guide them. Someone honest. Someone brave. Someone who truly cared about ordinary people. That man was Tribhuvandas Patel. He believed the farmers deserved respect. He believed they deserved fair prices. Most importantly, he believed they could build something together. Instead of depending on middlemen. He encouraged every farmer to become an owner. Not a worker. An owner. This idea was revolutionary. Every family became a partner. Every member had a voice. Every drop of milk belonged to them. It was a beautiful idea. But there was still a huge problem. An idea alone cannot build a dairy. Milk must be collected. It must be tested. It must be cooled. It must be transported. It must be processed. Machines were expensive. Technology was limited. Experts were difficult to find. The cooperative had hope. But hope alone was not enough. Meanwhile, hundreds of kilometers away, a young engineer was living a completely different life. His name was Verghese Kurien. He was intelligent, well-educated, ambitious, and to be completely honest, he had absolutely no interest in milk. He never dreamed of working in a dairy. He never imagined that farmers would become part of his life's mission. In fact, he wanted to leave Anand as quickly as possible. For him, Anand was only a temporary stop. A place where he planned to finish his government service, pack his bags, and move on to a better future. He had no idea that destiny had already chosen a different path. Sometimes, the greatest journeys begin in places we never wanted to visit. And sometimes, one unexpected meeting can change not only one life, but the future of an entire nation. Verghese Kurien did not know it yet. But the small town of Anand was about to change his life forever. At first, he treated his job like any other government posting. He arrived. He worked. He counted the days until he could leave. Every evening, he dreamed of moving to a bigger city. He believed his future was somewhere else. Milk. Farmers. Villages. None of these things interested him. But life has a strange way of changing our plans. One afternoon, Kurien met Tribhuvandas Patel. The meeting was simple. There were no cameras. No reporters. No famous speeches. Just two men. Talking about the future. Tribhuvandas explained the farmer's dream. He said, "We do not want charity. We do not want sympathy. We only want a fair chance. We want our farmers to receive the money they truly deserve." Kurien listened quietly. He could see honesty in the old man's eyes. These farmers were not asking for free money. They were asking for justice. Still, Kurien wasn't convinced. He thought, "I am an engineer. What can I do for milk farmers?" But Tribhuvandas never forced him. Instead, he invited him to visit the villages. So Kurien went. Early the next morning, he walked through dusty roads. He entered small villages. He visited tiny homes built with mud walls. He watched women wake before sunrise. He saw children carrying water instead of school bags. He watched old farmers clean their buffaloes with great care. Every family worked incredibly hard. Yet, their houses remained poor. Their clothes were old. Their children had very few opportunities. Kurien couldn't understand it. How could people who produced something so important remain so poor? Then he saw something that stayed in his heart forever. A farmer handed over fresh milk. The milk was perfect. Clean. Fresh. High quality. But the payment he received was almost nothing. The middlemen made the profit. The farmer received only a small share. Kurien stood there silently. For the first time, this was no longer about milk. It was about fairness. It was about dignity. That evening, he could not sleep. The faces of the farmers stayed in his mind. He remembered the children. He remembered the tired mothers. He remembered the old men who had spent their entire lives working, without ever escaping poverty. Slowly, his thinking began to change. Instead of asking, "How soon can I leave Anand?" he started asking, "How can I help these people?" That one question changed everything. Kurien began spending more time with the cooperative. He studied every problem carefully. The biggest challenge was simple. Milk spoils very quickly. If it is not cooled, it becomes useless. Without proper equipment, the farmers would always lose money. So Kurien and his small team started working day and night. Money was limited. Machines were old. Sometimes electricity failed. Sometimes important parts were missing. Sometimes people laughed at them. Many believed the cooperative would fail within a few months. Some businessmen even hoped it would fail. Because if the farmers became successful, others would lose control. Pressure came from many directions. There were financial problems, political pressure, business competition, even technical failures. But every time something went wrong, the team refused to give up. Instead of saying, "It cannot be done," they asked, "How can we solve this?" Slowly, the dairy became stronger. Farmers noticed something amazing. For the first time, they were receiving fair payments. The better the milk, the better the income. There was honesty. There was transparency. There was trust. And trust is one of the strongest foundations of any successful business. Soon, more villages wanted to join. Then more farmers arrived. Every new member made the cooperative stronger. Every liter of milk increased hope. The dream that once sounded impossible was slowly becoming reality. But one important question still remained. If this new cooperative wanted to compete with powerful companies, it needed more than good milk. It needed a name. A name that every family in India would one day remember. The cooperative was growing. The farmers were finally earning more than they had ever imagined. But success brings new challenges. Selling milk inside a few villages was easy. Selling it across an entire country was a completely different game. Kurien knew that people would never buy a product they did not recognize. The cooperative needed an identity. It needed a name that people could trust. After many discussions, a simple name was chosen. Amul. The name came from the Sanskrit word amulya. It means priceless. No one in that small office imagined that one day this simple name would be known in almost every Indian home. But having a name was only the beginning. The real challenge was quality. Kurien had one rule. If the quality is not perfect, we will not sell it. Some people disagreed. They wanted to earn quick money. They suggested mixing poor quality milk with good milk. Others wanted shortcuts. Kurien refused every shortcut. He believed that trust takes years to build, but only one mistake to lose. So every batch of milk was tested carefully. Every machine was checked. Every worker was trained. Slowly, customers started noticing something different. Amul products were fresh. They were pure. And they were consistent. People came back again and again. Not because of advertisements, but because they trusted the product. As sales increased, more money returned to the farmers. For the first time, many families repaired their homes. Children who had stopped studying returned to school. Some families bought bicycles. Others purchased better buffaloes. Many farmers no longer had to borrow money every month. The cooperative was not just selling milk. It was changing lives. Word spread quickly across Gujarat. Farmers from nearby districts came to Anand. They wanted to know the secret. They expected to find rich businessmen. Instead, they found ordinary farmers running their own organization. One visitor asked, "Who owns this dairy?" A farmer smiled and replied, "We all do." That answer shocked many people. Because in those days, it was difficult to imagine poor villagers owning such a successful business. Soon, the cooperative became too large for its old facilities. More chilling centers were built. New processing plants were opened. Modern machines arrived. Young engineers joined the mission. Each new improvement made the cooperative stronger. But another challenge was waiting. During that time, India depended heavily on imported dairy products. Milk powder from foreign countries filled many markets. Many experts believed Indian farmers could never compete. They said, "Foreign companies have better technology. They have more money. They have bigger factories." Kurien listened carefully. Then he smiled. Instead of arguing, he went back to work. He believed actions speak louder than words. His team started experimenting. One of the biggest problems involved buffalo milk. Most milk powder around the world was made from cow's milk. Experts believed buffalo milk could not be used in the same way. Almost everyone accepted this as a fact. But Kurien's team refused to accept impossible. They spent countless hours inside laboratories. Many experiments failed. Some days brought disappointment. Some nights ended with no results. Still, nobody stopped trying. Finally, after months of hard work, something incredible happened. The team successfully developed a way to produce milk powder from buffalo milk on a large scale. It was a breakthrough. Scientists were impressed. Engineers celebrated. Most importantly, Indian farmers had a powerful new opportunity. Now their milk could be stored for longer periods. It could travel across the country. It could reach places where fresh milk was impossible to deliver. This single innovation changed everything. Production increased rapidly. Demand continued growing. The cooperative became stronger than ever before. People no longer laughed at the farmer's dream. Now, they wanted to learn from it. Government officials visited Anand. Journalists wrote articles. Experts from different countries arrived to see what was happening. How had a small group of poor farmers created something so extraordinary? The answer was surprisingly simple. Honest leadership. Hard work. Teamwork. And one powerful belief. When farmers become owners, everyone wins. Without realizing it, the foundation had been built for something far bigger than a successful dairy company. A revolution was quietly beginning. The quiet revolution that began in Anand was no longer limited to one town. Its success was reaching every corner of India. More and more villages wanted to become part of the cooperative movement. Every week, new farmers joined. Every month, more milk arrived. Every year, thousands of families saw their lives improve. The government was watching carefully. Leaders realized that this model could solve one of India's biggest problems. At that time, India was struggling to produce enough milk for its growing population. Many cities depended on imported milk powder. Foreign countries supplied dairy products that India could not produce in large quantities. This situation worried many people. A country with millions of farmers should not have to depend on others for something as basic as milk. That was when an ambitious idea was born. It was called Operation Flood. The goal was simple. Connect millions of farmers through dairy cooperatives. Build modern processing plants. Improve transportation. Deliver fresh milk across India. And most importantly, make farmers the true owners of their success. Who was chosen to lead this massive mission? The same man who once wanted to leave Anand forever. Verghese Kurien. Many people thought the plan was impossible. India was a huge country. Roads were poor. Electricity was unreliable. Villages were far from cities. Milk spoiled quickly. The investment required was enormous. Critics laughed. Some newspapers questioned the project. Business rivals predicted failure. But Kurien had heard these doubts before. Years earlier, people had laughed at the Anand cooperative. Now, that cooperative had become a model for the nation. Instead of replying to criticism, Kurien focused on building systems. He believed that strong systems create lasting success. Thousands of village societies were established. Collection centers appeared in remote areas. Milk was tested scientifically. Payments became transparent. Farmers no longer had to beg middlemen for fair prices. Money reached them directly. This changed everything. For the first time, hard work was rewarded honestly. Families gained confidence. Young people stopped leaving villages in search of uncertain jobs. Women became an important part of the dairy movement. Every morning, millions of women cared for cattle, collected milk, and contributed to their families' income. Their role became stronger than ever before. Many families later said that dairy farming had given them financial independence. Children who once struggled to continue school now dreamed of becoming doctors, teachers, engineers, and entrepreneurs. Entire villages slowly transformed. Small houses became brick homes. Electricity reached more families. Better roads connected villages to markets. Hope replaced fear. The White Revolution had begun. Soon, India's milk production started increasing rapidly. Year after year, records were broken. Experts around the world were surprised. The same country that once imported large amounts of dairy products was becoming one of the world's largest milk producers. International visitors came to Anand. They wanted to understand the secret. They expected to see expensive offices, luxury buildings, corporate executives. Instead, they saw farmers, simple people, working together with honesty and discipline. One foreign visitor asked Kurien, "What is your biggest strength?" He smiled and answered, "Our biggest strength is not our machines. It is our farmers." That sentence explained everything. Machines can be bought. Buildings can be built. Technology can be copied. But trust cannot be copied. And that trust became the real foundation of Amul. As the years passed, the company introduced butter, cheese, milk powder, ice cream, chocolate, paneer, curd, and many other products. Each new product created more opportunities for farmers. Every purchase made by customers helped another family somewhere in India. Without even realizing it, people buying a packet of butter were supporting millions of hardworking families. Amul was no longer just selling dairy products. It had become a movement. A movement proving that ordinary people, working together, could achieve extraordinary things. And while the products became famous across the country, one small cartoon character was about to become even more famous than the company itself. As Amul grew stronger, its products reached more homes than ever before. People trusted the quality. They trusted the price. And they trusted the name. But there was one more thing that made Amul unforgettable. A tiny cartoon girl. She had blue hair, a red polka dot dress, big curious eyes, and a smile that millions of people instantly recognized. Today, she is known as the Amul girl. But when she first appeared, No one imagined she would become one of the longest-running advertising characters in the world. Instead of making ordinary advertisements, Amul did something different. The company commented on current events with humor. If a famous movie was released, the Amul girl appeared with a funny message. If a cricket team won, she celebrated with a clever joke. If something important happened in the country, she had something to say. People started waiting for the next Amul billboard. Some even photographed them. Others collected newspaper cuttings. The advertisements became part of Indian culture. Children loved them. Adults enjoyed them. And every smile reminded people of one simple word: Amul. Without spending huge amounts on flashy marketing, the company built one of the strongest brands in India. But behind every successful advertisement, there was something far more important. The farmers. Every packet of butter, every slice of cheese, every spoon of ice cream, represented the hard work of millions of families. When customers bought an Amul product, the money did not go to a single billionaire. It helped thousands of village cooperatives. It supported women who woke up before sunrise. It rewarded farmers who worked every single day of the year. This made Amul different from many other companies. Its success was shared. As the years passed, the numbers became unbelievable. Millions of farmers joined the cooperative movement. Thousands of village societies became active. Millions of liters of milk were collected every single day. India, once dependent on imported dairy products, had become the largest milk-producing country in the world. This achievement was not magic. It was the result of honesty, discipline, innovation, and teamwork. People from different countries came to study the Amul model. Business schools discussed it. Management experts analyzed it. Government leaders admired it. Many called it one of the greatest cooperative success stories in history. Awards followed. Recognition followed. But whenever Verghese Kurien was praised, he always gave credit to the farmers. He often reminded people, "I did not build Amul alone. The farmers built Amul." Those words revealed his true character. Real leaders do not take all the credit. They share it. Years passed. Generations changed. Technology changed. The world became digital. But Amul continued to grow. Today, its products are found almost everywhere in India. Milk, butter, cheese, chocolate, ice cream, curd, paneer, ghee, and much more. Every day, millions of families choose Amul without even thinking twice. Many children grow up drinking Amul milk. Many birthdays are celebrated with Amul ice cream. Many breakfasts begin with Amul butter. The brand has become a part of everyday life. Yet most people never stop to think about how it all began. Not with a billionaire. Not with a royal family. Not with a giant corporation. It began with poor farmers, who simply wanted fairness. And one young engineer, who decided to stay when he could have walked away. That single decision changed the future of millions. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson of this story. Success is not always created by the richest person. Sometimes it is created by ordinary people who refuse to give up on an extraordinary dream. Thank you for watching and learning with the English Academy. If you enjoyed this inspiring story and improved your English today, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and family. Keep learning. Keep growing. And remember, every great success begins with one brave decision.